Hey, it's Ryan 97.7 QLZ. Today we're talking with Filter frontman Richard Patrick. Richard, you guys on the road right now. It's you, it's Rob Zombie, it's Alice Cooper, it's Ministry, Freaks on Parade Tour. How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good. It's nice to meet you. I've been a fan since probably late 90s when
Since
I,
since almost the beginning. Wow,
well,
cool.
yeah, since I was probably about 12 years old when you guys released Title of Record. That was the first record I ever heard from you guys as a late adolescent, early teens. So it's great to chat with you, man. How's tour going? How's everything with Rob and the guys in Alice Cooper's camp and Ministry? How's tour going so far?
The tour is absolutely amazing. We are having an incredible time. Rob, Alice, Cooper, and all the bands are mingling and hanging out and having a great time. And yeah, it's awesome. Ministry, it's fantastic. I get done and we kick off the show, and then I run over to the side of the stage and watch Ministry play, and then Alice Cooper, and then Rob Zombie, and I haven't missed a show yet. It's awesome.
That's sweet. You guys got like I said, day off today. Looking you guys up, following you guys, especially Facebook, social media, all that great stuff. You haven't toured with Rob since I think you said '95, back when you were still with White Zombie. You've talked about how Ministry, really shaped you back in the late '80s. Just not saying like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing this, but just the feeling of getting back with some guys that, you toured with 25, almost 30 years
Yeah.
at this point, man. Just the excitement level of that too.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I'm hanging out with my old friends. I've known Al Jorgensen since 1989 when Trent had him produce "Get Down, Make Love" for Nine Inch Nails, and I've known Rob since 1995 when he was cool enough to let us open up for White Zombie back then. And then Alice Cooper, I did some charity work with him. He's got that Christmas Day pudding charity event that he does, and we did that, and he was really sweet and amazing. And yeah, it's wild. I mean, I can't wait until the bands start kind of mingling and maybe even have. I was wondering if the guys from other bands could come out and play "Hey Man, Nice Shot" with us. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. Do that. And
Yeah.
that record, almost 30 years old at this point, but you guys got the new one out now. The Algorithm came out back on the 25th. It's not even a week old at this point. We're playing Obliteration here on QLZ. And I mean, the song itself, I mean, it sounds like 90s Filter. What I like about the record, man, it sounds like it's something that, I grew up listening to back in the 90s, but it sounds kind of modern. Just, about the album, was that kind of the idea to go in, was to be like, hey man, let's make something that sounds like, we could have made this in the 90s, but it's got, a fresh vibe to it.
Well, I'm a child of the 90s. I was coming of age. I was like, 20, when the 90s started, and grunge and, Nine Inch Nails and all that stuff. But Ministry really had a huge impact on me. But the Algorithm was just basically putting together 11 songs that are amazing. Is it 11? I think it's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just putting, 11 great songs on one record and just hoping that everybody would like it. I mean, I'm hinged in today. I know it's 2023, but at the same time, I love, drop D tunings and stuff from the 90s. And the goal was to just make a great record that everybody would just move their heads to, and maybe think about when they're not listening to it. And I have yet to read a bad review of the record. It is very special, and people are saying this is like the return of Filter, and that we are back and all that. And I'm just glad to be here.
Is it weird to you with the age of the internet and how everybody always has, some bullshit to say and everything else? Is it weird to you that there's been nothing negative so far? Again, man, like I like the record because it's, you got some stuff on there. I think for the Beaten was one that I'm like, this reminds me of, the hard hitting stuff. And then the end of the record is kind of stuff. I was just driving home today to take out the dog, and I was like, man, this is just good driving music. You gotta just get lost in it and just kind of just chill, and it just relaxes you. Is it weird that nobody's been, I guess, a dick when it comes to writing stuff?
There's been one comment like on Facebook that I read that, wasn't that nice, but none of the publications have really said anything bad about the record. And the critics love it, and that's really cool. That is, because I think that criticism is, I'm on some records I've had mixed reviews on, and I've always thought, well, maybe they're right, maybe there's something to what they're saying. But this record, it's really cool that there's just not any bad press on it. I'm really stoked. I'm really happy.
It's always nice when things are positive. It's nice,
Yeah.
everything else, because you listen to Obliteration. It's a song that's, again, man, it's classic. It's classic. You guys, it sounds like Filter. Kind of, and you dive into the lyrics, and I kind of have what I get my own thoughts about it and what it is, and it's a song. You watch the video, and there's a lot of doom and gloom to the video, but the ending is very positive. So, was there anything that really inspired you with this song? You'd be like, I got to write about this, or was just kind of looking at the world as a whole?
Obliteration?
Yeah.
Obliteration comes from a place where I was at before I quit drinking.
Okay.
I was a horrible alcoholic, and I quit drinking back in 2002, and I've been sober ever since. And it's pretty bleak when your mind is trying to kill you. And so I wrote from the perspective of what it was like when I was using back in the day, when I was suicidal and I wasn't a healthy person at all. And I like to be able to go back and reference that, because I think there's other people out there in the world that will hear this, and maybe they'll stop drinking, or they'll stop hurting themselves, because we all feel, bad at certain points in life. And I think it's okay to reflect that and process that.
So is this a song idea you've had since 2002 and just getting it out there now, or is it just?
No,
okay.
I put myself in my shoes back in the day when we were writing lyrics. I was writing lyrics with Sam Tenez and Mark Jackson and Ian Scott, the other songwriters on the record. And we were just talking about like how bleak it is when you're an alcoholic, and how hard it is. And I mean, most people die from this disease. 95% of us die.
Wow.
From this disease. Look at, the famous ones, Scott Weiland, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, Lane Staley, everybody, they're dying from addiction, and there's a very small percentage, there's about 5 to 6% that actually can beat it and go on and live successful lives, prosperous lives. And, I just feel like when you bring that stuff out in music and you talk about it, you're shedding a light on it. So other people that are feeling, maybe that they have a chance and they can believe in themselves enough to quit drinking or to quit doing drugs or whatever it is that's ailing them. I think it's just a good way to process, being a human being.
I like it because it's good. Like I told you, I'm like, between listening and watching the video, it's kind of why I was like, especially when it's a single we're playing on the air, just kind of getting some background behind it, because everybody's perspective is so much different on a song.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like asking about it as well. I mean, we're almost 30 years to Short Bus. It's the record that got you guys rolling. Like I told you, it's the album I think I came back and listened to once I got in my teenage years, because title of the record. I know you guys were working something called Rebus for a little while. Any special plans for anything with the 30th year of a Short Bus? Because you're seeing like they do it right now with Dookie, and Alice in Chains has done it, and Linkin Park's doing it with some of the 20th anniversary stuff. Any plans for any of that?
Coming up for the 30th, I'm sure we'll have something, and I don't have anything planned right now, but yeah, okay. There's going to definitely be something that we're going to do. I mean, I would love to play more songs from Short Bus. I think they're amazing and they're fun to play. And, maybe it'd be cool to go out and do like 5 songs from Short Bus when we're on tour out there in the future. I think it'd be awesome. But yeah, Rebus was my attempt to get back together with Brian Lee's gang and write a bunch of songs with him, which we did. We wrote 4 songs together. There's some other ideas that are out there. But we wrote 4 songs, and there was Thoughts and Prayers, America, and then Summer Child, which is on the record, The Algorithm, and Command Z, which is also on The Algorithm. So there's 4 songs that I did with Brian that could have been called Rebus, but we just had a little bit of a falling out. So I decided just to split the songs up and let them live on their own. America and Thoughts and Prayers, I literally just put out for the fun of it. And I probably should have held on to them because of, it'd be nice to have 14 songs on the algorithm. But nevertheless, they're out there and they're living their lives. So I'm glad that I did it, glad they're living.
And it's more music for people to enjoy. And I know you've mentioned in the past, being out there with Ministry, it's a band that shaped you, quite a bit music wise. The Land of Rape and Honey, I know you said is a big album for you. And Richard, what I've been asking a lot of people when I was living up in Wisconsin, it was kind of a blog post I did. It was asking bands their favorite complete albums in no time. You're no skip records, because I love asking this question because everybody's a little bit different. But some of your favorite no skip albums of all time, maybe some of those perfect records for you.
Oh yeah, U2, The Unforgettable Fire, the Deftones, White Pony,
good one.
Neil Diamond, Hot August Nights,
okay,
which is a strange one. The Wall by Pink Floyd, Some Girls by the Rolling Stones, and then London Calling by the Clash.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nobody's mentioned Neil Diamond yet. You're the first one. That's awesome.
Yeah, my dad played Neil Diamond when I was 4 years old in our house. He bought the record in 1974 and cranked that record, Hot August Nights, in our living room, and it was so loud and it was live, and I thought I was really there. And my dad had a big stereo system back in the day, and he was always a hi-fi nut.
Okay.
And he played Neil Diamond. There was a part in one of the songs where his guitar player's name is Richie.
Okay.
And that was my name growing up, Richie. And he goes, "Take it away, Richie," and I just thought, that's me, And I love that record.
That's awesome. Again, man, everybody's a little bit different. I think when I asked John Connolly of Seven Dust, man, he threw Alanis Morissette in there. It was like next to Master of Puppets, and it's why it's so much fun asking this, because you get to deep.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could keep going. I mean, Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, Willie Nelson is my favorite country artist.
Okay.
Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power. Just Far Beyond Driven. By Pantera. I love the New Crosses record. I mean, I could go on for days.
No, it's cool. It's a lot of fun asking this question again, man. You guys out on the tour right now with Rob Zombie, the Freaks on Parade, Alice Cooper, Ministry, the Algorithm new album's out now from you guys, came out the 25th. You can stream it, you can buy it. If you're one of those people that still likes to buy physical albums, I'm one of those guys. You can grab it now. So Richard, I know it's an off day for you guys, man, but I appreciate you taking the time and chatting with us today.
Oh, no problem. It's totally cool. And thank you so much for having us and playing our music. It really means a lot to us. Like we're very, very grateful to be doing what we're doing, and great radio stations like you guys are just making it possible for us. So we really appreciate it.
No problem, Richard. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You got it, man.